Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Parapalooza Day 3. I hope you guys are still having fun and enjoying these segments. This is so cool. I'm enjoying this so much, getting to talk to all the creators and everything. It's awesome. And here in just a minute, we're going to have Steven from Hollywood Paranormal Detectives coming up, and he's going to be talking a little bit about how they find their locations and getting set up to do one of their videos. Because if you've watched Hollywood Paranormal Detectives, you'll know their videos stand out big time. They are so well put together. It's like watching a TV show, as I always say. So I'm going to enjoy hearing how they get their stuff together and everything. Hello to everyone that's coming in and new to this. If you haven't been with us earlier today, make sure you check out all those videos, plus the last 2 days, Friday, Saturday, and today. All those videos are up on the Parapalooza page. Hello, Nubs. Hello, Sandra, Michelle, Jenny, Melissa. Hi, Debbie. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hey, Patrick. And then up next, we're going to have Patrick and Melissa, so I'm excited about that one as well. Hello, Joey. And Stephen will be right with us. Have you guys had a favorite topic that we've covered or a favorite video that we've done? Look at Patrick. What? Melissa, did you forget to tell him? Or was it a surprise? Oh, that's funny. Hi, Michael. Sorry about that. There's a dog yapping out in the hallway. Hello, Troy. We have a little yappy dog here that likes to bark, and its bark is one of those itty bitty teeny screechy barks. No, it's not our dog. They heard our dog yesterday. I had to mute it real quick because she was going crazy. Our dog's bark scares me every time she barks because it's one of them blood curdling barks, like the deep, loud barks. Let me check something real quick. Make sure he got the notification. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely hard to follow Eddie, but you guys are going to do amazing. No worries with that. Hello, Doris. Hi, Dia. I think there's been quite a variety of things to listen to and stuff, and you can always go back and listen to the ones you missed. That's one of the great things about having this setup is all these videos are on one channel, and you'll be able to go through and just see a bunch of different people. You can even watch the ones from last year. I was on there last year as well, and that was awesome. We had some great channels on there. So I'll be listening but driving during the segment. The whole 3 days have been awesome. Thank you, Joey. Okay, sorry about that. I just sent another quick message to Make sure he got the link. I had a tiny dog that barked like a huge dog, used to scare the fluff out of everyone. Hi, Debbie. So I know Joey and them are going to be looking forward to hearing some of you guys' feedback. So make sure you comment on these videos. Let them know stuff that you might want to see next time. Maybe a topic that didn't get covered this time that you would definitely be interested in seeing something about. Mention some creators as well that you think would be good on this show. And that way they can get into contact with them. Maybe get a lineup going for the next time. We always enjoy your feedback, though. Yes, thank you, Doris. Hit that like button. Oh, hang on just a sec. That's why the link was the wrong one. Now, hopefully that fixed it. This can be quite confusing as we go through there. There he is. So I had the wrong link sent to him. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I was trying to send you to an old one, I guess.
It's fine. I'm just hanging out.
Well, I've done quite a bit of these, so for that to be my big mistake, that's good, I guess.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
So, guys, we're excited to have Stephen here from Hollywood Paranormal Detectives. You have seen him on our channel quite a bit. You know we are huge supporters of their channel. So sit back and we're going to listen to them talk about how they find their locations and how they prepare to do their videos and stuff like that. So if you have any questions, make sure you put them in all caps and we'll get to them as quick as we can.
Yeah, if you see questions, if you could read them to me, because I don't know if I see them.
Okay, that's good. I will definitely get it.
Okay.
All right. So we'll just start off with you telling us a little bit about your channel, and then you can go off into whatever you want, and I'm here when you need me.
All right. Well,
All right.
hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing great today. I'm Steven, the host and creator of Hollywood Paranormal Detectives. My other teammates are Brian Ray and Boom. They can't be with us today, but they're with us in spirit. Not spirit, but in spirit. So a lot of people are always they ask why do you do a show? And everyone always says everyone's in the paranormal field to make money. And so when if anybody starts seeing that money, let me know, because I'm not making money. This is not my day job, and like most people watching, it's probably not their day job too. They probably have a job, and this is a hobby that takes a lot of effort and takes a lot of work.
Amen.
Exactly. So you have to put work into it. We have a YouTube channel. We're not the biggest YouTube channel, but we try to put out TV quality shows. And I kind of went with making a show because I posted I started a YouTube channel and I posted an EVP, and I just got just verbally beat down by people being like, "Well, where's the video? What's the context? Who's saying it?" And then people like giving me demands like, "You cannot post an EVP without showing the recorder on tape," you know. And so you start going like, Jesus, like I can't please people. I have this amazing EVP I've caught, and everybody wants all this other information. So I watch a lot of shows and other channels that I feel like could benefit from my tongue lashing I've gotten from internet viewers. Because of that, I've figured not to make money, but the best way to relay the evidence that we gather, you can go out and have a great investigation with your friends and you can have a great experience. But if you don't have it on tape, your memory of it might fade, and the way you perceive it might fade. The voice might get clearer in your head the more you think about it. But if you have that recording, you've always got kind of your base memory captured right there. So what I decided was to make a show, because with a show, I can give you the history of the location. So when you say, where was this taken? I've already told you where the EVP was captured. I'll have videotape of how it was captured. And that way, no one can have a question of the validity of the evidence. So to me, making a show isn't to make money. In this fun thing we like to do on the side of our real job, it's the best way to present evidence is through the format of a show. Um, so without having a format of a show, you get these 1 second videos that you're like, what was that? You know? Uh, so with that, like, how do you make a show? I'm not in TV production, but I live in Hollywood, so I see a lot of it. So first you have to find a location, right? Um, I'm old school. Oh, my Alabama just came out. I'm old school, so I like to get books. I like to get like books like haunted places, and I'll just look for my state, and I'll look for things that I haven't seen on shows. Um, and I start these lists. Brian and Boom make fun of me. I have these long lists I make of I write down locations, I write down their addresses, I write down their webpage, and then I write down, is it a paranormal pit stop? Is it ghost hunting? Is it a creature? Is it an alien sighting? And I'll have these lists of ideas of places I want to go. And books like Haunted Places are great. If you're looking for not just ghost hunting, all the weird books like Weird California, they have almost every state as a weird book. They have these great series of ghost hunting books that they have, again, almost every state, Southern, Northern California, things like that. Get these books. They give you, I feel like, more detail than you can get on YouTube or something. And also to make, you're filming a show, right? So you need to make your show a little more interesting. I grab a lot of these like road trip books. So if I'm going to Goldfield, Nevada, I'll look up the road trip book, like what's in the area that I can film, film us going to, film us driving by, just to make that B-roll better and to make the experience a little more interesting with, road trips and sometimes really good restaurants. Um, any questions on that? Anybody that's watching? No one.
Alexander says she wishes there was books like that in Canada.
I'm sure there are. Just go to Amazon and just put in your location and put in haunted, and then put in books and put in. There's got to be stuff for your location, and then also if you're going to just recently, we went to Picnic Table 29. So you go to YouTube and you say, has 1,000 people been there? So you put in Picnic Table 29, and we saw, not a lot of people have been there, and we saw a great channel, Oddity Odysseys, had been there before, and they had a great B-roll, which is exactly what we wanted. So if you've seen the episode, the B-roll of the couple walking to the picnic table and then the tree falling on them and stuff, we didn't have to film that because it doesn't hurt to ask. We reached out to Oddity Odysseys and said, can we use your B-roll? It's perfect. And they go, with our pleasure. So reach out to other paranormal groups, see what they've done. Your evidence won't be the same. There's no way you'll both get the same EVP or spirit box voice. So reach out to groups, Google your locations, YouTube your locations, see what people have done there. So maybe you don't do the same thing. So if people go there and use a REM pod, you go there and use a spirit box. People go there and use dowsing rods, you go there with Ovilus. So you're not repeating the same investigation style. Yeah. And so what I'll do is I'll get more of my little sheets Brian and Boom make fun of me of, and I'll just write down facts. This is for Cobb Estate, and I just have negative feelings. People being watched, figure of Charles Cobb, cult activity, lumber mogul built in 1916, 107-acre property. So I'll just have facts about that location, written down before I kind of start making my show. Because if you don't know about Charles Cobb and you don't know it was a lumber mogul, and when I'm in that location and the ovulus says lumber, you won't go, Charles Cobb's a lumber mogul, and it said lumber on the ovulus. There's a big kind of East Coast movement of, I don't want to know anything about the location. I don't want anything about it before I go there, which I think if you're going there as a psychic medium, maybe. But I think going there as I think with What the Paranormal, I've said this before, you're either going spiritual or technical. If you're going spiritual, going in blind is good. But if you're going there technical with devices and trying to capture evidence, I think it's best to know your location, because it's like going in for a job interview. You want to know what the company does. You want to know what they do. You want to know what to expect, and you want to be prepared. If there's a location where there's an axe murder and you want to take an axe for a trigger object, if you don't look it up and know that location, you won't have your trigger object. Yeah. Oh, and we did the witch house the same day. So the same day we filmed the witch house for the Paranormal Pit Stops, we also filmed Cobb Estate. So I had my facts on the same sheet. And then usually when I get home, I will write up my script, which is when you watch the show, I'll break it into little segments that I can record. Can you see this at all?
Yeah, we can see it.
But I'll break it into little segments that I can record and then stop. So I can, in 1960, a lumber mogul named Charles Cobb bought the 107-acre property. Just 2 years later, his wife Nadine. Actually, I messed it up, so I got to start. But I break it down into things I can read and record my voiceover, and then match my B-roll and shots of me and Brian walking and footage I get off the internet. I can match it to my story. So once again, the people can't complain. Well, who owned the property? What year did they move in? I've given all that information. So I've gathered my information and I've presented it, to the audience through my script. Any questions? Am I just talking crazy, or?
You are not talking crazy. Very good information. A lot of information that I didn't even realize that I needed to be doing.
Well, and it's a lot of that. I couldn't find one. I will write out shot lists, like shots I want to get. Like I want to get the sign. I want to get the stairs. I want to get a shot of me and Brian walking through the sign. I want to get. If you don't think of these things when you get home, you can't go back. You can't go back and film.
Exactly.
And if I don't have I have this big pet peeve. I want to have a daytime shot of every room that we investigate at night, so that I've shown you where we're at on our show, with those little pan shots across the room. I've shown you what the room looks like. So when you see it in black light and you just see me and Brian in green faces, at least where we are. And I do, like, here's Scary Dairy, here's Picnic Table 29. I just have all these lists of facts. And then I have, this is the one I'm working on now, Griffith Park. I have all this. This is all the story of the curse of Griffith Park and all the locations. And I'm starting to get ready to explain more about it. So I'm starting to write the script, sort of. And it doesn't seem like you write the script, but when you sit down to edit your show and you got all this B-roll, you start kind of going, what do I say? And that's just something I do there. Let me see what else I can do. Any questions yet?
What has been like the hardest part of gathering your information or finding a spot? What do you think is the hardest part of it all?
Well, to me, the worst part would be to get home from Goldfield and then watch a video of someone capturing something on the stairs and then go, we didn't even investigate the stairs. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, oh, that was a hot spot and we walked right by it and we didn't even try. Or not knowing a spirit's name that's the number one spirit that haunts this place. So that's like when the people say they don't want to know. I feel like that's, oh, you don't know the hot spots. You know, if it was a town, if you're going to a town, I'll just keep using Goldfield because it's my favorite investigation we've ever done. So, if Goldfield was a town itself and there was one place where the party was at and you didn't go there, you know, you would feel bad when you got home. You're like, huh, I went to that town and there's a huge party going on. So there's a portal in this room, and there's a place where everyone gets voices, and then you find out you didn't go later. That's egg on your face. You know, you need to know that stuff. What else? I had a bunch of stuff here already.
Doris wants to know, in the Table 29 video, why have they not moved the table or the branch?
Well, they say that every time they attempt to move it, there's a problem. So they've actually stopped, and it's been there since the 60s. Well, let me check my chart. I can tell you exactly when it's been there. Since 1976, so it's been there like 40 plus years, sitting on that table still. Because one man went to cut it down and he ran, and the next guy went to cut it down and he was dead from a heart attack. And maybe they like the story, or maybe if you've seen the video, the table's just smashed. It's a big tree just sitting there. Yeah, you would think, you know, if there wasn't 1% truth to this story, that they would have just moved that table, or moved that tree. So maybe there is something.
Yeah, I doubt anyone else wanted to take the chance.
Exactly. Any more questions?
Sandra just said, wow, I just found 4 books on Amazon.
Oh, great.
So you did help her.
Great. And it's also like, I'll buy every state around me. I've got like weird Arizona, weird Ohio, weird Texas, weird Washington, Colorado, I got all the weird books of every place around me, so I can start. Let's say I am coming out to see you guys, so I'm going to drive through Arizona, and I want to find a spot in Arizona, and I want to find a spot here, you know, and I can put that down.
Exactly.
Every night I can stop, film an episode, and make that content. And like I said, it's not for money. It's just sort of to like show our hobby and show what we do. It's a weird thing to describe, that it's really fun. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about, like editing shows. One big advice I have, a lot of people do one camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I know as a fan, when I'm watching one camera, even if I'm getting good action, I tend to get bored because there's not, the human eye reacts to movement. You know what I mean?
Right.
And our shows, people are like, wow, you guys get so much evidence. No, I mean, that's like Picnic Table 29. It's a 14-minute show. I probably investigated for 3 hours by myself.
Right.
But if you notice, I had a handheld, and the only camera I had was one of my old cameras. So I set up a wide shot camera to sort of, that helps the viewer see the location. And so when I want to cut out, you know, 2 hours of EVP sessions that I didn't get any voices, I can just cut to wide and cut back to the one that I do get. And you don't really realize that all that time has passed. And the camera has shown movement to keep the audience interested. And it's a better way to, like, a better chance to catch more evidence. Like Brian and Boom. Like, Brian tends to film equipment.
Yeah.
So if equipment goes off, Brian's got that shot. So I know I don't have to film equipment. So I know I want to film whoever's talking close up. So I'm getting that close up. So I'm getting the emotional shot. Brian's getting the technical shot. And then we usually have a camera on sticks, or a tripod. Sticks is our Hollywood term of it. That's what they call it. A camera on sticks. So that's a camera on a tripod getting all of us. Brian's getting the equipment. I'm getting the emotional shot. So if Boom's investigating, Brian's filming a REM pod, and there's a wide shot getting everybody, and I'm filming Boom talk.
Right.
And I've got all those shots to cut through you know. And if I want to like pass time, I can quickly cut from one to the other, and you don't realize that I've cut out 20 minutes.
Right.
And a
And that
lot of
makes
people. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying that makes a lot of sense.
And because I love watching good investigation.
Mhm.
And I'll sometimes, if you watch some of our shows, I'll leave in good investigation with no evidence because it's good questioning and it's good emotion. But then it also showing no evidence with good investigation shows the difference when you are capturing evidence. Even going back to the first episode at the Janis Joplin room, we do a spirit box session pretty early with no voices. And then we do a spirit box session at the end of the night with constant chatter, which kind of
Mhm.
shows maybe we made a friend by the end of the night. They weren't comfortable at the beginning. And then through everything we did to the evening, then they felt like talking.
Yeah,
So you have to leave those both in to show the difference. Yeah.
exactly. Starting from research to the end of editing, how long does it take you guys to produce one show?
Well, I do
Oops.
I do everything. So I'll get when I get the guys, they'll know where we're going. Guys, we're going to Cobb Estate, we're going to Goldfield, we're going to somewhere. I won't always hit them with the facts yet. But I'll hit them with I'll kind of read through. Where's my facts list? I'll read through like my facts list before we investigate, just to tell them everything we've got. So it tells them voices to listen for, or hot spots, or and then I'll even edit out times when I'm updating the guys with stuff. Like, ooh, say this. They don't like when you say we have no fear of you or something. But I'll edit that out. I edit out a lot of breaths. If I'm doing somebody on Glen Tavern Inn said it seemed like I was asking questions quick. I edited out my gap between questions so it didn't get boring. But from me picking a location to filming to done editing, man, it's taken me months before, because it's almost like two questions. How long does it take us to get to a spot? We got to find the spot. We got to lock it in. The worst is when you find great spots that you can't have access to, like really haunted old houses that are now museums. That's the worst, isn't it? Or you call and like, oh, it's $5,000. Like,
For the
there's
year?
yeah, exactly. There's a place called the Museum of Death, and it's in downtown LA, and it's probably the size of a small classroom, the whole museum, and they want a $5,000 filming permit. And it's like, man, you wouldn't be a 10-minute show. Like,
Exactly.
I would just love to walk through. But I would say the process really starts when I get home. And that's when I go from my facts to writing my script to recording my dialogue, recording all my voiceover. It depends on how much evidence we got. Like Goldfield, we filmed Goldfield in, I think, June. Yeah, June in the desert was super hot. And I think it didn't come out until November.
Right.
So it takes a while. Well, also, I have a full-time job. Right now, I'm doing 50-hour weeks on a DC movie and a Disney Plus Star Wars show at the same time. So I'm working super hard. So I got to get up at 4 in the morning to edit and edit till I go to work at 6, and then try to edit when the kids go to bed. So like I said, and I got wife, 2 babies, 2 dogs. It takes a lot for this. Yeah, I'm waiting for that ghost hunting money to roll in so I can
Yeah,
just edit all day.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Doris wants to know if you've ever been able to investigate at the Hollywood sign.
I really want to, especially I'm trying to do this Griffith Park episode. I want to do like a Skywatch and a Peg. I think Peg Amwhistle might be her name. Without looking at my research, she's the girl who jumped off the sign, the big famous one.
Yes.
I would love to be able to get up to the back of the sign and then have someone down in the park. Maybe I can convince Brian that social distancing, have Brian filming up, because there's a lot of UFO sightings at the Hollywood sign, and I think it's because a lot of people look at it. It's a reason to look at the sky. So, normally people don't look up that much.
Right. That definitely makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
But I would love to have like Brian in the park filming the sign, walkie-talkie, and maybe me and Boom up by the sign. As close as we can get. I think I called a few years ago when we first formed. I almost wanted our first episode to be Hollywood Paranormal Detectives. We got to do Hollywood sign.
Right.
They wanted me, I think they wanted like $3,000 for an hour, but I also had to pay a security guard that the state would provide. And it seemed like a lot. And then I couldn't get someone to call me back when I was trying to get some precise numbers.
Right.
If I can just get close enough that I can see it, maybe find the close enough route that Peg probably made on her way to the sign, if I can catch her in her perpetual walk she takes to go to her letter she jumped off of. But yes, I want to do that. Absolutely.
Absolutely. That would be amazing to see. Jenny McGinnis, my goddess, wants to know, what is your favorite place that you have investigated?
It's gotta be, well, it's almost a tie. Goldfield, I think I've said it in the past. I remember like somebody having a burned VHS of the first Ghost Adventures. It was old for VHS. There shouldn't have been a VHS of it, but my buddy had a VHS of it, and we watched it, and I just like, wow, that brick and the Goldfield, and at the time I was living in Louisville, Kentucky, wrestling, so I was like, Goldfield was so far away, and the desert and all that, and kind of I was already into ghost hunting. I've always been into ghost hunting. I never really. It's like everyone thinks everyone knows about their local haunt. Does that make sense?
Right. Yes.
Like I grew up thinking Sloss Furnace was the most haunted place in the world in Alabama. That's where I was from. I thought everyone from everywhere talked about Sloss Furnace, and until you go somewhere, no one's heard of it.
Exactly.
But Goldfield was like such a long dream, and for so long it was closed, and for so long there was like, how do you get into it? Oh, you go park in front of it and you wait and you try to catch somebody going in and you hope you have enough money to bribe them. Like that's kind of how it used to play out.
Exactly.
And then I think her name is Jenny. Recently got the rights. I don't know if they still do. I want to go back. We were going to go to the Goldfield School this last summer, but COVID hit.
Yeah.
But to go back to Goldfield, to get to finally go in, you can hear my intro. I go, Hollywood Paranormal Detectives have come to the Goldfield Hotel. And it wasn't in my script I write. I go, let me say that again so it sinks in for you and for us. Hollywood Paranormal Detectives have come to the Gold. I just couldn't stop saying that I was at the Goldfield. And yeah, Goldfield's got to be my favorite. And Pioneer Saloon. I've been to Pioneer Saloon 3 times now. And the last time we finally filmed an episode, I'd been with 2 other groups before. And that first time I went, it's a perfect example of what I've been talking about. I've been with 2 groups. One that we kind of just hung out, and it was spooky. But because we weren't filming, we didn't really like. We turned some equipment on and we chit chatted and we played cards and we blah blah blah. And then the next time we went, it was a little better, and we played cards, did some equipment, did some investigations. But unless you're rolling, people don't get quiet. Unless you're on stage, people don't
Right.
kind of tighten up and talk loud and talk clear and
Right.
talk right. So it's like I have great stories. Me and Boom was in the second time I went. He was in that group. Heard a little kid laugh at us through the spirit box, and it was so clear. And me and Boom, like, oh my gosh, like we freaked out about that. And then we also had a time we were playing cards, and the I think it was just a K2. It was this K2, an old gray K2 before they made them black to look cool.
Yeah.
This is my old one. I just keep it on the shelf back here. But it was going off for the card player to hit or call, and I didn't film it. No one had a camera going. So I just have these stories with no context and no evidence. So it's like, it took me, I mean, I've been investigating since I'm 41 now. I'll be 42 in April. I've been investigating and exploring since I was in my late teens, early 20s. And since 2017 is when I was like, I'm filming everything. I'm getting content and I'm going to release what we do,
Exactly.
It took that long for me to gather enough stories to get frustrated that I had no proof of them. But Pioneer Saloon, Goldfield. Yes, thank you for your question.
Let's see. See if there's any. Doris said, "Laugh out loud. Let me go. Take it out of my Swiss bank account. Laugh out loud." We definitely would.
I would love. I think this is a different answer to your editing question. If I had, a 40-hour week to devote to this, I think I could film on the weekend and have it done by Friday. I think I could have it done by the weekend. I could have an episode out every week if I had, a work week to devote to it.
Exactly.
I could drive somewhere, film a location Saturday. I wish I had one. I'd have all these shot lists that, I want this room, daytime, this room, night, graveyard, this, city of Good Spring sign. I want this, but I have this huge shot list of B-roll stuff. I usually do 3 different intros. If you notice my little intro, I call it my wrestling promo open.
Yes.
But I usually do it 3 places so I can cut the 3 together, and I do the same intro so you can get a better sense of the location. And
Right.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, he definitely has a ship near him. She said, "Do you have any ships to investigate near where you live?"
Well, we did the USS Hornet. There's the Star of India down in San Diego. And I think there's another one right in lower LA. USS, blah, 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 I don't remember. USS something.
Y'all did one up further into California.
We did the Hornet. The Hornet.
Have y'all done the Queen Mary?
Oh, yeah. The Queen Mary. Yeah. Queen Mary, so far, we've just done the most haunted room.
Yeah.
I would say for every birthday or anniversary or anything, I stay on the Queen Mary and wander the ship. And I wish I could do more. I want to do a few specific rooms. I want to do the boiler room. I want to do the pool room, and I want to do them all as a different episode, just so it's too much Queen Mary to edit into one exciting adventure. Queen Mary is no joke. It feels like you go on board, you have traveled into that ship, sails through the clouds into the world of ghosts. You do not feel like you're on Earth. Kind of like the Stanley Hotel. That's the only other place that feels like you go in the Stanley Hotel. There's something spooky yet comforting and you want to
Right.
just live there and be part of its
Exactly.
history. And you're like, I want to just sink into the Queen Mary and sink into the Stanley and never leave.
Right. I understand that. I have been to the Stanley, but have not got to do the Queen Mary yet, although that is on my bucket list. Yeah.
Come on out. We're ready.
We definitely want to. Let's see. Dia says she misses Callie so bad. Yeah. Let's see. I had a question a while ago and I can't. Jenny said, "What equipment do you use?" Oh, if you could only use one piece of equipment, what would it be?
Everyone hates my favorite piece of equipment. Everyone hates the Spirit Box now. So much hate on it. Also, everyone's like calling everything a Spirit Box.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, if they use the Necrophonic app, they call it a Spirit Box. If they use, one of those big, I don't know what those are. They're like a stereo speaker, guitar speaker with a bunch of foot pedals inside.
Mm-hmm.
They call those Spirit Box too. I mean, to me, I thought Spirit Box was Radio Scanner. But everyone kind of calls everything a Spirit Box, and everyone for some reason, the second they get on TV, they shit on it. I mean, they crap on it.
Oh, you're good. You're good. No worries. You're good.
I know for a fact I have sat and talked to people through my Spirit Box. I love my Spirit Box, and I tried not to use it. I tried not to use it as a crutch, but people say it's not good evidence, but those same people also use such high tech things they choose to use.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an example, like they have that new, what is that? That new camera they just use on ghost hunters, photon camera.
Yeah.
That's supposed to catch photons exploding as they react. Have you ever like gone to a location and an eyewitness says, "Well, I was just using my photon camera and I accidentally caught a," you've never heard that.
No. Never.
You've never heard someone, "Well, as I was going to bed in blacklight using my radio scanner, I just caught a voice." It's all the same, until we have a ghost sitting like the way we're talking saying, "Yes, the Spirit Box works. Yes, the photon camera works. Yes, Bigfoot is real. He's behind me." Like until we have like a spirit, like I also always expect that for someone to make well, let's just adjust this frequency, and you get hello, like yes, I'm dead. Like, what if someone just found the frequency?
Right.
Wouldn't that be like, oh, we've done it, everyone. We just found you reverse spirit frequency or something. Working with some mediums and stuff that everything's. I'm not very big. I'm gonna take a drink, so I've coughed too much. I'm not. I don't feel like I'm psychic, and as mediums and psychic mediums say, everyone has the same ability. I would say from when I started investigating till now, I can read locations better.
Yeah.
If that's me opening up my senses, my spirituality better. Whatever I've done, I've also started, as the years go by, I see more things. If you watch the Suicide Bridge of Pasadena, when we were on there with Miriam, we kind of, she's explaining to us some of our own investigations that, well, you just saw something there. That means you've opened your eyes and not your senses. Boom,
Right.
you get nauseous. You've opened your feelings, and you're like, oh, I guess you are right. Like, I do see a lot of things. So any device, whether it's a photon camera or it's a Spirit Box, I think is an antenna.
Exactly.
Of like, so somehow me and a Spirit Box I feel I can use it as an antenna, as a lightning rod, as my Thor's hammer that only I hold and gives me power. Um, I can use my spirit box and I can talk to, if they're willing, I can talk to spirits. I had some, like that picnic table 29. I had some amazing stuff
You did.
where they say my name. And I'm
Mhm.
also starting to notice probably the last 10 episodes I've done, except for the fire camp where we didn't get any evidence, which means there was no ghost, which I love that episode because it shows we investigated this abandoned boys' reformatory known for violence, and not one bit of equipment went off. And we're proud of that. Like,
Because it does happen.
yeah, it helps every other episode, and it sort of shows that we're not. And everyone always talks about groups faking evidence. I have never met anyone that's faked evidence, and I've never seen evidence that I thought was good enough to be fake.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't think anyone would fake a little murmur, like a little whisper or something. There'd be no point in that.
Exactly.
And everybody, even like people talk bad about ghost pictures and stuff. Like, show me something you think they faked. I don't think. I don't see. They never caught like a spirit came out and pushed Zach or something. They
Yeah.
never. They've never caught anything so good that it must be fake. I mean, the fakest thing we've ever caught was the bangs on the wall of the Queen Mary that were too real to be real. So
Exactly.
it was like, I'm still like, someone had to bang on the wall and run. There's no way something banged that loud. If not, that's our best evidence we've ever captured. And we're talking right through it while we're filming a live stream.
Yeah. I remember that
But
well.
yeah,
Yes, a photon camera does sound like it came from the Jetsons. I agree.
it's. I would love to get a $3,000 photon camera and see if it works.
Hmm.
I'm, I'm still begging Santa Claus for a SLS camera or something.
Right. That is
Um,
true. Debbie wants to know. Go ahead.
I mean, are there any more questions about like how to put a show together or
That's
anything?
right. Y'all ask some questions. I know y'all need to know this stuff.
And it's kind of like, well, just recently, Paraflix has come about,
Yes.
and because we haven't found a huge, we found some very good people on YouTube, but we haven't like found a broad audience. What I feel like would be the best is when I post a video, it gets a lot of views, and I get a lot of questions. You know what I mean? I would love
Right.
to have people to talk to and just sort of know people are watching the experiences we're having. And I kind of feel like now I post great videos. Like Scary Dairy has like less than 300 views.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing location where a chain swings and I see a shadow figure and it says my name. It says Camarillo. It says hospital. It says, you know, um, amazing stuff. But still, I mean, if no one's watching, um, so Paraflix is a new streaming service that has come up. And the way I've always seen what we were doing was building a library. So when someone does stumble upon us, we have a library of credibility, not even just our shows. We have a library to show everywhere we've been and to show all this evidence we've gathered. Um, and also, this is another thing I get made fun of. I keep a list of all my content. So I've got every
Hmm.
episode of season 1, every episode of season 2, all the paranormal pit stops. I have them all written down. So as soon as Paraflix contacted me and said, "Do you guys have any content?" Because of that, I think we have one of the biggest libraries on Paraflix because we have
Right.
2 seasons of 7 episodes apiece. We have 5 pit stops, and we have 3 season 3 episodes. So if I hadn't have buckled down a few years ago and started going, the best way to present evidence is TV show format. When that opportunity arose, I wouldn't have been ready. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I suggest people, if you are investigating, 2 cameras, set them up, record your whole night, and then go from there. I would say I learned 200% of everything from episode 1 to 2. I leveled up, and then 3 to 4 you level up, 5 to 6 you level. You keep. Oh, I need this shot. Oh, I need this shot. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. And then next thing you know, I'm always embarrassed at Janice because it's so unedited. But then, like, I think around USS Hornet and Queen Mary and stuff, I really started hitting our stride and finding our format. Yeah. So film is my biggest advice to everybody. 2 cameras, film, edit, and just like force yourself. Don't use YouTube as your comparison. Use, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters. Use Travel Channel. Compare yourself to the best. And that way your content will be the best it can be.
Exactly. But even, and I definitely can tell how more advanced that you guys have gotten, because to me, even the Janis Joplin episode was one of them ones where I went, wow, I definitely want to subscribe to them, because I could be watching this on TV now. So if I could watch that on TV and now to see what you are doing, it's amazing. So I was not surprised at all when Paraflix asked you guys to join up and be part of that platform.
And I think April 30th we'll know if how we're doing on views and stuff and subscriptions and things. I mean, and it's not a place. We're not destined to make money. They're not offering us big cash. They're offering us exposure and quality and friendship.
Right.
And at this point, I've talked to the guy. Everything's going to go back into the team. I never push it. I guess it's time I can talk about it. We have a Patreon. If anyone's interested in our Patreon, join up for $1. We got some shirts and stuff, and everything will go back into the team, and we'll give everybody shout outs and high fives and verbal hugs.
So, Parachills, I know you said that you're gonna post season 3 and 4 to YouTube first, and then you will gradually take those off and add them to the Parachills.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep season 3 up until season 1 premiere. I mean, season 4 premiere probably. Just because we don't have that many subscribers, but I don't want to alienate. Most of the people we have already have probably watched season 1 and 2, and that way only new people will kind of gravitate toward Paraflix. So that way I'm not trying to push our friends and family we've already made towards Paraflix, but that way I can hopefully anyone new I can help maybe get to Paraflix and find it.
I keep saying Parachills, and it's Paraflix. I do not know why I have a hard time.
It's like Netflix, but Paraflix.
Paraflix. It's the Netflix of the paranormal.
Yes.
But it is so hard for me to even get that out there. I'm fixing to put in the link for Paraflix.
It should be in my about bio.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that link, it shows Paraflix you came through us too.
Yes. So I'm gonna put this link in the chat here, and make sure you use this link to get it. That way, they get the credit for it.
Yeah. So also, just so they know whose marketing is working, we got the promo code HPD10 that gives you 10% off. I think for the first 3 months. And there's a lot of investigation on there. I haven't got to watch that much of it, but there's a lot. And it seems to be growing and growing and growing. So hopefully, and I hope I say her name, Patty Negri's on there.
Yes.
From Ghost Adventures, she's always on there. Father Sebastian, he's on there. And there's a bunch of other, I guess, paranormal celebrities that are becoming associated with it. And yeah, hopefully we can get maybe Patty on an investigation with us or something like that through our. We've already made a couple of friends throughout the country through our Paraflix chatting that we're interested in like sharing some locations. Once the team's up and going, you know, I talked to Brian recently. He's getting his shots. I think he's getting his first shot this weekend. So I might have Brian and the haunted merry-go-round with me in a few weeks. So
No, that'd be awesome to see you guys together again. Well, Stephen, unfortunately, we are out of time. This
okay,
hour so quick.
yeah.
But we would definitely love to have you up on the What's Paranormal channel again soon, promoting
Yeah.
Paraflix. I got it right.
And
Yes.
if anyone ever has any questions or any editing advice or anything, just send us a message through any Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Any way you want to contact us, I'm happy to give editing advice or anything like that. If we're worthy of it, you know, we try so hard. Our numbers don't show that we're successful, but we edit a lot.
You definitely do amazing work, though, and you should be very proud of that.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Stephen. Guys, if you
right.
want to, please go check out the link in the description and show Hollywood Paranormal Detective some love. You will not regret joining their channel. I promise you that.
All right.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, and bye, everybody.
Bye. Guys,
Bye.
be on the lookout because up next we have Paranormal Patrick and Melissa, Served Up with Love, talking about the paranormal after a heart attack. We're going to hear their story of what happened with Patrick after an investigation that they did. So we're going to listen to that and see how things happened and what transpired afterwards while starting to do paranormal again. So, all right, guys, we will see you here in just a few minutes.